Hello and welcome to OT Over Easy. My name is Becca and today we are talking again about pediatric developmental milestones. Today we're talking about gross motor milestones, mostly getting up and moving. Now there are many motor milestones that you could learn, memorize, categorize them into different groups. I have tried to highlight the ones that I think are going to be most important for you to help visualize a baby as it grows through to about 2 years old. And I'm going to try to group things in time chunks that will help that information be the most salient. So this is not going to be a comprehensive list of every single gross motor milestone you could possibly know for a child. But as always, my goal is to try to help you prepare for an entry-level OT exam. And so I think these are the things that you generally want to know so that if an exam question is asking you like, hey, you have a child of this age, what should you be expecting to see? That this is going to help you remember those kinds of milestones. Full disclosure, I am not a parent. Neither have I had any young siblings or cousins or anything around while I have been able to understand what is going on and observe their own development. So this is coming purely from someone who only understands children from sort of like an academic perspective. In some ways though, maybe that's a good thing because I'm objectively giving you only the information that I have obtained from reading other OT literature. So hopefully this is the most accurate for what you actually need to know for an OT exam. Our first phase is what I'm going to refer to as our slug phase. I don't have any appropriately aged family babies to borrow, so I'm just gonna kind of demonstrate myself. This is from freshly newborn to about 3 months of age. I'm not sure if this reference is wildly off base for the demographic I'm talking to, but in my mind, I call this the slug phase because I am thinking about Randy in A Christmas Story when he's all bundled up in all of his jackets and he falls over.
Randy lay there like a slug. It was his only defense.
I'm thinking about Randy the slug in this moment because 3 months and before, babies are not moving very much at all. They lie there, and that's kind of all they do. Okay, so that's not all they do. During this developmental phase, a baby, while placed in prone, will learn to start to push onto their arms and lift their head a little bit. When they're lying in supine, they may start to reach for toys. In their hands, they're starting to open and close their fists a little bit. If you've watched my pediatric development milestones video for fine motor skills, you'll know that about 4 months is when they're developing a crude grasp. So it makes sense that before 4 months in this 0 to 3 period, they're just working on flexing and extending those fingers. And they can bring their arms in to bring their hands towards their mouth. But that's it. If you put them on their tummy, they might push up a little bit. If you put them on their back, they might reach and move their arms a little bit, kick their legs, but they're not moving anywhere. Our next chunk of 3 months, from 4 to 6 months, is when we actually start to mobilize just a little bit. And that mobilization comes in the form of being able to roll. So in that 0 to 3 month period, you can flip them on their back or on their tummy. In that 4 to 6 month window is when they start to be able to flip themselves a little bit. This is also the age range where they're going to start disassociating the sides of their bodies a little bit. And that's part of what helps them be able to start rolling, is they can move one side of the body separate from the other to allow them to flip. It also means that when they're in their tummy time, now they can start to reach for toys because they can use one hand to support them and the other hand to reach. 0 to 3, there's no prone reaching because there's not that separation yet. Both hands have to do the same thing, and because they're not strong enough to hold themselves up using their core and then reach with both arms Superman style, there is no reaching in prone. But in the 4 to 6 window, now we're starting to be able to reach a little bit in prone. When we're in supine, before we could start to reach for toys. Now, again, with that separation of sides, now if we have a toy, we can start to try to pass it back and forth between our hands. Because again, remember, 4 months old per our pediatric developmental milestones for fine motor, 4 months is when we start to develop that crude grasp. So we can pick up a toy now maybe, and we can start to pass it back and forth in that 4 to 6 window. In this window, we can also start to develop our sitting, where they're going to be supported on their hands while in sitting because they're not fully stable, but they can sit. And they may even be able to stand a little bit with support. If you're holding their trunk or holding them up by their arms, they may be able to bear a little weight through their legs, but again, they're going to need that support right now. So in this 4 to 6 window, we're starting to roll back and forth. We're getting a separation from left and right and allowing those sides to move a little bit more independently of each other. And we can sit with support and stand with support. I like to remember supported stands and sits at 6 months. Supported stands and sits at 6. Our next window from 7 months to 9 months is when we start to develop more core stability. Where before we needed to sit using support, leaning on our arms, now we might be able to sit without the support of our arms. My mnemonic for this was on hiney at 90, because we can sit on our butt and nothing but our butt. On hiney at 90. And with that improved trunk stability, now we can actually start to transfer from laying into creeping and crawling. So 0 to 3, we're pushing up and lifting our head. 4 to 6, we could start on our back, roll onto our tummies. And now in 7 to 9, we can actually get off of our tummy and start to move forwards. Now, I think it was about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now, that the CDC officially removed crawling as a developmental milestone. That doesn't mean that crawling is not an expected normal part of childhood development. They did that because the window in which children develop crawling is just much more broad and varied than we used to think. So I'm not sure if this milestone has been pulled from OT textbooks. If it hasn't now, it may in the future possibly, but I do think it's still helpful to understand generally where we expect creeping and crawling to happen. And again, just for generalist entry-level OT exam, I would put it in this sort of window, this 7 to 9 month developmental period. In months 10 to 12, we are stepping it up. It makes sense that from our progression of creeping and crawling, now we're coming into a little bit of walking. Not confident walking. We're pulling into standing. We may even be able to stand still by ourselves and maybe take just a few steps unsupported. So over the next developmental period from 13 months to 18 months, so the next half of a year, this is where we're really going to solidify our walking skills. Over this period, we're going to start walking pretty independently and confidently. We're going to stop falling regularly. We may be even able to squat down to pick up a toy off of the floor. I like to remember I walk my own path at 1.5, because by 18 months, we've got walking down pretty confidently. So what's the next step? The 1.5-year-old walks, so the 2-year-old can run. By the 24-month mark, we're probably expecting that child to be able to run, even if they have to keep their eyes on the ground, and they can be navigating upstairs with the help of a railing. So big picture for our movement milestones, 0 to 3 months, not a whole lot happening here. 4 to 6 months, we start to roll back and forth, and we can sit with support. Sits with support at 6. 7 to 9 months, we can sit unsupported on hiney at 90, and we're starting to creep and crawl. 10 to 12, we're starting to walk. We might stand on our own. We're furniture cruising, just a couple independent steps. And then from a year to 1.5 years, we build that confidence with walking. And then by 2 years, we build that confidence with running. And those are the gross motor milestones that I would get down pat if I was studying for an entry-level OT exam. Like I said at the start, there are a lot more that you could learn. And if you have other ones that are salient to you that you found in other resources, by all means, go ahead and weave them in there. But of all the milestones that you could possibly be asked about in an exam, these are the ones that I think that will get you the furthest and the most bang for your memory buck when you're trying to learn a lot of information all at once. I say this in almost all of my videos, but remember, you want big picture understanding of these things, not trying to memorize the minutia and the itty bitty gritty. So that's it for this one. Be sure to check out some of my other pediatric developmental milestone videos if you haven't already. And I will be looking to my comment sections to find the next topics that I address in my videos. So if you're getting ready to study for an OT entry-level exam and you're struggling with a topic that someone else hasn't already explained pretty well, drop it below and I might add it to my list. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope this made learning childhood development a little more easy. Happy studying!